the black sheep of your family. For us, it was my younger brother Eric. He was always different, marching to the beat of a drum none of us could hear. Mom used to say he came out of the womb arguing, and I believe it. While the rest of us followed the expected path, college, steady jobs, marriages, Eric rebelled against everything. I remember the Christmas he showed up with half his head shaved, tattoos crawling up his neck. Dad nearly had a stroke right there by the tree. "You look like a convict," he spat. Eric just laughed and said, "At least I don't look like everyone else." That was Eric, always pushing boundaries, always testing limits. The real trouble started when he dropped out of college his sophomore year. Mom cried for days. Dad threatened to cut him off financially. Eric just packed his bags and disappeared for months. When he finally called, he was living in some commune in Oregon, talking about finding his truth and rejecting capitalist indoctrination. "He's just going through a phase," Mom would tell relatives at family gatherings, her smile tight. But years passed, and Eric's phase only intensified. He bounced between odd jobs, experimental communities, and relationships that never lasted. Sometimes he'd call at 3 a.m., voice slurred, rambling about government conspiracies or some spiritual awakening he'd had while hiking in the desert. I tried to stay connected. I really did. But every conversation felt like navigating a minefield. "You don't get it, Melissa," he'd say, frustration edging his voice. "You're just another cog in the machine. And you're so free," I'd counter, living hand to mouth, borrowing money whenever you're in a bind. He'd hang up, and I wouldn't hear from him for months. The last straw for my parents came at my father's retirement party. Eric showed up uninvited, clearly high on something, with a woman twice his age who introduced herself as his spiritual guide. He caused a scene, accusing Dad of wasting his life serving corporate masters. Security had to escort him out. Dad formally disowned him that night. "I have no son," he declared to the stunned family gathering. Mom sobbed quietly in the corner. For 3 years, Eric was a ghost. No calls, no emails, not even a postcard. Mom would check the mail every day, hope dying a little each time. I hired a private investigator, but even he lost Eric's trail somewhere in New Mexico. Then last February, my phone rang at 2 a.m., a hospital in Albuquerque. Eric had been found unconscious in a motel room, drug overdose. He'd listed me as his emergency contact years ago and never changed it. I flew out the next morning. The doctor's face told me everything before he spoke. He was gone before they brought him in. I'm sorry. In his backpack, they found journals, dozens of them, poems, manifestos, sketches, and letters. Letters to all of us that he never sent. In them, I found a different Eric, one who was terrified of disappointing us, who felt like an alien in his own family, who used drugs to quiet the noise in his head. "I just wanted to be understood," he wrote in his last entry, "to not feel wrong for being who I am." I brought his ashes home. Dad refused to attend the small service we held. Mom placed a picture of baby Eric on the mantle before he became our black sheep, when he was just her little boy with curious eyes.